Welcome to Entry Point Faith. Join us each week to discover fresh meaning in the world and find faith your way. Now, here is Pastor Nancy Lafferty.
So if you open up the Bible and start reading at the very first verse, you will read the words, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." And then as you continue to read, you read that God created light, the oceans, trees, plants, flowers, stars, birds, fish, animals, and finally humans. And we humans made huts. We air conditioned them. We heated them. We went inside and we stopped going outside to enjoy the majesty of what God had created. Our huts are warm or cold as needed. They are safe, they're protective, they're comfy. We get very, very comfy in our huts. So we don't go out there where it might be too cold or too hot or too windy or too still. We stay inside. We wrap up in blankets, and sometimes we get stuck inside. Now, when we were younger, we didn't stay inside, did we? We used to disappear early in the morning, and we might not return home until the street lights came on. Kids carried BB guns. We sat on our parents' lap, and we steered the car, for crying out loud. We rode in the backs of pickup trucks. We waited in the car by ourselves while our parents were running errands. We went into the woods, sometimes with Dad's hatchet. We built forts. We played with sticks. And we rode our bikes everywhere we went. We ran. We played baseball all afternoon. We spent all day outside. Our parents had no idea where we were. It was wonderful. Those were the good old days. And of course, now that we are older and wiser and we realize some of the things that we did probably weren't exactly safe. So these days, we have a different view of child safety. Yes, we pretty much bubble wrap our children. According to a 2022 study of more than 5,000 American parents of children ages 5 to 13 across all the states, more than half the parents surveyed are worried that their kids aren't spending enough time playing outside. According to the study, parents tell their kids to go outside and play 4 times a week. The top reason parents tell their children to go outside, of course, includes get some fresh air, take a break from your devices, and exercise. 35% of the parents also said that they encourage their children to go outside and play to positively impact their mental health, as well as to have some quiet time for themselves. The bottom line is this: parents today report that their children spend just 5 hours a week outside. That is less than an hour a day. But there's another side to this, as you are probably well aware. If you're wondering why some parents don't get their kids outside, consider this situation. A mother in Texas who has 3 children was visited by the police and Child Protective Services one afternoon because her 6-year-old was outside playing by himself. She told the authorities he was absolutely safe. He knew the rules. He knew not to go past the top of the hill where the stop sign was. But a seemingly well-intentioned neighbor brought him back home one day and then called CPS. Now that is a difficult situation. Was this neighbor being overly involved? Are we happy that the neighbor did that or not? Now, back when I was literally gone all day riding my bike, my parents never had a visit from a police officer or CPS. Nobody cared that I was out there by myself. This is a tough debate, and I see both sides. And I understand the role that fear plays in the keeping of our children inside. There was a wonderful, huge explosion of kids and parents spending time outside, though, during the pandemic shutdown, wasn't there? All of a sudden, everybody was home and everybody was outside once the weather warmed up. Although playgrounds were often closed, kids played in their yards, they played in their driveways, they created chalk art, they sat on their porches and they played board games. When I was walking my dog, I would frequently hear that beautiful sound of children laughing and yelling, talking and playing outside. It just permeated the air in our neighborhood. I actually think that most of the children in our neighborhood learned to ride their bikes that year of the first year of the pandemic. And now, this past summer, the sidewalks and the porches and the yards have been pretty vacant and silent. Our parents weren't just telling us to go outside and play because we were driving them nuts. On some level, our parents knew that there were benefits to spending time outside, in nature, or in our driveway, or in the woods, or on our porch. We blew off steam, we burned excess energy, we breathed the fresh air, we slept really, really well because we were really tired. That's a key to raising children. Keep them dirty, keep them tired. That's it. Give them a shower and throw them in bed. Beyond the obvious health benefits of spending time outdoors, there are really some significant spiritual benefits as well. Maybe we don't really know what we believe spiritually. Maybe we don't even know where we are on our spiritual journey. But if we step outside, our tired body just might perk up, and our foggy brain might focus more clearly. We might hear our inner voice more clearly, and we may find ourselves connecting better to God. Being outside in God's creation provides nourishment for our souls, and it opens our spirit in a way that only nature can. We catch fireflies at night. When we're young, we climb up in the trees to see the world better. When we're outside, our senses are activated. We smell the fresh air. We feel the sunlight on our skin. We hear the sound of rustling leaves and snapping twigs. We see the beauty of the natural landscape, and all of that somehow gives us a sense of joy and an unusual sense of peace. When we're outside, we feel connected to the earth and to somehow all living beings. We're humbled by seeing and feeling our place in the grand tapestry of life. Nature grounds us and helps us put things into perspective, and we appreciate somehow the simplicity and in the incredible beauty all around us. Spending time outside also allows us to let go of distractions, to be fully present, to reflect on our thoughts and our emotions. We often find clarity, as Lois said in her prayer, and solutions to challenges that we're facing. Nature is an endless source of inspiration and learning for us. Being outside kind of rekindles a childlike sense of wonder within us, reminding us of this beautiful journey that we're all on. Spending time outside with other people is also healing. Taking a walk with another person inspires conversation with new insight and new perspective. When we're outside, we talk about things differently, with more leisure, with a relaxed attention. Marcy and I recently spent several hours, 2 days in a row, on a pontoon boat with some dear friends. We communicated on that boat in a much different manner than we do when we're inside. We had more time, it felt like. We were much more patient with each other as we spoke. We bonded with each other in a much different way than we do when we socialize inside. And although our soul longs for fun and companionship and connection with other people, it also yearns for connection to our higher power. This sacred personal relationship will experience a new level of connection outside. When we look up at the stars, we feel that upward pull, that moment of awe. It's the same feeling we get when we look at the clear blue sky or an early morning sunrise. I've talked in recent weeks about that feeling of awe and how that feeling gives us humility. It helps us to put things in perspective. It shows us how small we are really, how insignificant that problem really is. Buddha wrote, "If you wish to know the divine, feel the wind on your face and the warm sun on your hand." When we're connected to nature, we get a spiritual understanding of things and a deeper comprehension of our own greatness as well as our smallness. We stand in front of an ocean or at the base of a tall tree, and we grow quiet. And as we ponder in that silence, we get in touch with the bigger, better parts of who we are. We start to consider doing something different, taking a bold step, changing something, doing something new. When we're inside our huts, our climate-controlled indoor space, we don't think as broadly. We feel limited and structured. We limit our potential when we're inside. We need the expanse of outdoors to open up our thinking. Nature has the ability to ground us in humility while also showing us the endless potential that is within us. My friends, we need to make time to connect to nature. We need to appreciate its beauty and its expanse. And we need to connect to ourselves, other people, and to our higher power. So please, for the love of God, go outside and play. Amen.
Thanks for listening in on this week's discussion on Entry Point Faith. You can join the Entry Point Faith community in person every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. at Conner Prairie in Fishers, Indiana. For more information and a transcript of Nancy's messages, visit entrypointonline.org. Entry Point Faith is brought to you in partnership with mypodcast.media.